Hey, this is Jack at TC3. Today we're going to replace a front bumper cover on a Ford Mustang. And we're going to paint this in the driveway. There it is without the bumper cover. The bumper's still on there, that's that metal bars. It got ripped off in a parking lot. Somebody sideswiped it and just yanked that cover off. Really didn't do much structural damage to this, but they did break our header panel. We're going to take off our headlights. There's just two pull clips that hold these headlights in. And you pull them up, pull your headlight straight forward, and don't just yank it. You have wires to remove. So you do the same thing on the other side. Here's your pull clips that hold your headlight in. So you'll just pop them out. And try to be orderly with your parts, you know, don't just throw them all over. You'll be looking for them later. If you have a box or a container or something you can keep your parts in as you take this apart, it's helpful. And just unclip your headlight bulb. Don't yank on the wire, just kind of get the clip loose and push it with a screwdriver. And your directional parking light bulb as well. Pull that out. Now it should just pull off. There we go. Okay, there's a cover that attaches your radiator bracket to your header panel and your grill. So there's a bunch of just plastic screw connectors there. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. You take them off and then you take your, I'm not sure what it's called, but you take that cover off. So this is your old header panel, which houses your headlights and also helps to connect your front bumper and grill. And there is rounded corners that used to be square and have tabs, and they're broken. That's why we had to replace this. We have 8mm bolts that are holding this on, 4 on each side, 2 going into the fender and 2 pointing to the inside there, and same thing on the other side. There they are. So we'll just remove them so we can get this header panel off, get the new one installed. So after removing the 4 of those bolts, the header panel should just pull out. Now, you'll still have your wires for your lights through it, so don't damage them as you're pulling it off. And here's the bracket that used to be attached to the bumper cover. If you see that little piece of metal sticking out like that, that is supposed to be attached to your bumper cover. It just got torn off. There's 11mm nuts behind this too, and they're about 2 inches apart. So you're just going to take them off from behind the fender. And there'll be 2 studs sticking through that go into your fender, which I'll show you in a minute. So after you remove the bolt, you need this one out of the way so you can... your new bumper cover comes with these already attached. So yeah, so that's just... needs to go. And there it is. That's what it looks like. And the new one of them will be on your bumper cover. So that's what you're taking off. Anyway, here's our new header panel. Ordered our parts from Rock Auto. And they have really good prices. And so we got our new header panel we're going to put on. And that should just slide in. Make sure your plugs are through the holes that they need to be through so you don't kind of squish them or trap them back behind. And you just put your 4 bolts on each side, so there's 8 bolts holding this. Just bolt it back in. Take your headlight, and you're going to replug your plugs into the lights themselves. Then you're going to take your headlight and slide it back into the slot. These are 2 alignment like studs, and they go in that hole, and there's one above it. Can't see it. There it is, the one to the inside. So that it's just going to push into that. The headlight's basically going to be exactly where it needs to be. This is pretty easy. So you just slide it in like that on both sides, and then put your slide clips back in. That's what locks your headlight into its spots. One thing I did notice after we were all done with this, they were all pretty close. I did not barely have to do any adjustment to the headlights. It was all pretty much pointing the way it was. Now we're going to put our impact absorber. Yeah, it's a big piece of styrofoam. So you put that in. There's 2 nubs on the top side of that go into square holes. And on the bottom you'll have, well, I used like a flat fender washer and a self-tapping screw for this. Now, don't over tighten. This is styrofoam. You won't feel any resistance from it. You'll just ruin the bumper. So get it snugged up against, and that's good enough. Your bumper cover is actually going to cradle this anyway. So I do the final tightening by hand, because if you do with something electric, you're just going to ruin it. Okay, we're going to paint this bumper in our driveway. Now, when we got this bumper cover from Rock Auto, it comes already primed. What I did do to it in preparation was I did wet sand it. When you get your bumper cover, it's going to come with a pretty smooth prime job already, so it's pretty easy to wet sand it and get it ready. Oops. So I'm doing a base coat, clear coat, rather than a one-step. Using urethane. I have not used that before, but I'm giving it a try. There's no bugs out yet. It's like really early spring right now. So I wet the driveway to keep any dust from kicking up. This is not the best way to do this, but this is the way we are doing it this time. I'm giving it a couple of medium coats of color, base coat. And then we'll go through the clear coat. I have not used this paint before. I am really hoping this will turn out okay, since especially I'm doing it in the driveway. I have way less control. We recently moved and I don't have a spray booth anymore. So, hoping for the best here. And make sure you wear your respirator if you're going to paint something yourself. You don't want to now, you can't see what I'm doing, but there's like little vent holes in the bottom, and they're just a little, yeah, there they are. It's a little more difficult to get to them. So, we're up to the clear coat now. You want some nice wet coats of clear coat if you can do it. This is an HVLP, so rather than spraying it all at once, just make it add up till it just gets very wet looking. But if you go too much, you're gonna drip it. So, take your time with this. Use your gun correctly if you've never done it before. You can go back and forth, but you've got to let off the trigger, or else you're going to have pooling, puddling, and dripping, and a general mess. I'm hoping to be able to have this look halfway decent without any sanding and buffing, and I'm hoping that I haven't used this paint before, so we'll see. So far, not looking bad at all. Getting a pretty smooth finish out of it. We went for an estimate to car repair shop. It was going to cost about $1,700 to fix this. Well, if this turns out okay, we should be able to end up fixing this for about $600-700. This is going to look pretty nice too. That's all new parts and everything. Okay, here's your brackets that go into your fender. They look like two plastic studs, but they're just two plastic pieces to protect the threads on that. So that's what's going to reattach into your fender. While we have this off, just a little added plus. We bought what they call a chin spoiler from American Muscle. American Muscle's all Mustang stuff. So there's a bunch of holes in the bottom of this. I don't know how many are. There's like 10, 12, 14. I don't know. There's a bunch of holes. So what you're going to do is you're going to drill. I figured this would be really simple while this is off the car. So we're going to drill through your bumper cover. And just put your provided nuts and bolts in this to hold it. So what you're going to do is align it right to the edge of the bumper and then drill it. And so you're going to do this all the way around. It's going to take a while. This is so simple to do it like this rather than when it's on the car, though. So I just figured I'd take advantage of the situation. So you're just going to keep chugging until you get it all done. Take your time, though, because, you know, you want it aligned right. So it'll actually look nice when it's done. And the nuts and bolts I provided for you are Phillips head on one side, and I believe a 10 millimeter on the other side. And it has like the nylon stop nuts, so they're not going to come loose on you. Plus, there's like a million nuts holding this rubberized plastic piece on. I mean, it's it's not going to fall off. So we'll just tighten all them up. I went and drilled all the holes first, then stuck all the bolts through, and then put all the nuts on. I'll tighten them all at the same time as well. And then we'll finally put this bumper cover back onto the car. So there it is. That's what she looks like with the chin spoiler on it. I actually think it looks pretty good. Curious to see what it'll look like on the car. Before we put this on, you don't have to, but it's so much simpler. Just put the grill on. There's 4 bolts that connect this grill from underneath, and there's 2 little alignment studs in the bottom of the grill. The grill got broken, so we had to replace that. So it's just easier to put them on before you do this, and then the top side's easy from the top, but so this is really the time to put the grill onto the bumper cover. So we'll do that now. Avoid a little trouble later. Try to make life a little easier on ourselves if we can, right? So I'll just tighten all them up. it's nice to have a new, fresh-looking grill on this. You know, the plastic gets old; it's not, you know, so black anymore. So it picked this whole assembly up and slide it on. There's a couple of tabs that go below the headlight, but above the impact cover, like the piece of styrofoam. So you got to kind of get them on. It's a little bit of a pain because it wants to grab onto the styrofoam. Just like, oh, it looks pretty good. Anyway, so now you gotta pull it in a little closer and fit it in the rest of the way. Just take your time. The two studs on each side of this bumper cover are sticking out, so they're like getting stuck on everything. There's two holes that they actually go in that are on the front fender. So I got them in on that side, and I'll do the same on the other side. And then underneath there's tabs too that grab to a splash guard. So there's a bunch of things that are kind of you got to get lined up. And so here's the two studs from the mount that go to the fender, and there's the holes that they go into. So we just got to get them through. And again, there's 11mm nuts that go on the other side that you have to tighten onto them. So have to do that on both sides. So just get them onto the hole, into the hole. I'm just gonna crawl under the car. I found if you lay on your back, you can look up there, you can actually see these. It makes it a lot easier than just feeling around, because there's a lot of nuts and bolts on the inside of this. And I guess if you know this car like the back of your hand, maybe you could find it, but for me it's easier if I can see it. And I figure if you know the car like the back of your hand, you wouldn't be watching this video anyway. Okay, so I'll attach those two. And if it's on right, it'll more or less look like this when it's all snugged up tight. The match was pretty good color-wise. I was happy about that. Now, you have that Phillips head screw, and you need just your little stubby screwdriver that's going to attach your splash guard fender well to your front bumper cover. And that's kind of what she's going to look like with the chin spoiler. Has a good look to it. Now we're still missing the Mustang horse, but we'll get to that in a minute. We're going to put that cover part on. Now this is going to connect your radiator bracket to your front grille, and also your bumper cover. It really attaches a lot of things. So we're going to put all these little plastic screw connectors back in. And after you do that, it's actually going to hold it pretty firm. Then ones on the corners where the gray bumper cover comes up, they hold that, the grill, and the frame, well, the support anyway. So that's what she's going to look like. Really didn't come out all that bad. Looking pretty decent. So just saved myself $1,000, and kind of happy it turned out well. Thanks for watching.